that one Ugochinyere, Ikenga, purportedly speaking for the coalition of United Political Party, which we know as group of opposition parties in Nigeria, has been mobilized with a sum of 500 million naira with the express brief to destabilize the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. The 5 million naira was allegedly came from the two sources, namely the governor of Sokoto State, Right Honorable Aminu Tambuwal, and his counterpart in Rivers State, Barrister Nyenso Wike. The mobilization is a continuation of other ongoing attempts to instigate violence in several parts of the country in the pretext of protesting insecurity in this part of the country, which we all know what is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. This particular modus operandi that Ikenga is meant to deploy is to mobilize protests that will direct violence against law enforcement personnel and will require the military to be brought in order to get control of the situation. The protester will then provoke the troop deploy to manage the situation so that they will be compelled to use force. The CUPP spokesperson Ikenga has reportedly secured the service of killer who will use government issue ordinance to kill some protester and then blame the military. The objective of this devilish scheme is to multiply fold. First is this sponsor who mobilized Ikenga are desirous of painting President Muhammadu Buhari as an incompetent person, as somebody that against democracy in Nigeria will be killed by their own side. The objective of this ISIS of this evil is the protest will spread into violence on the scale that will lead the collapse of the government and subsequently pave way for the opposition political party, the People Democratic Party, to take over or to use the opportunity to hijack the government. Ikenga sponsors are expectant that the violence clampdown on protesters will give them the leverage to have the military chiefs removed from office. As you see, they are protesting everywhere that President Muhammadu Buhari should remove or should sack the service chiefs in order to give way for junior officers so that they will have opportunity to either make Nyenso Wike the president in the interim president, while his counterpart in Sokoto State will take over as the vice president, or the vice versa. Two youth groups, as we are all aware, acting in conjunction with a faction of the youth council installed by opposition. As we are all aware, Ikenga was once time a factional president of the National Council of Nigeria. So he installed an opposition youth council president that will be kicking against, or that have been mobilized to work against the democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, the apostle of anti-corruption in Africa. These are long-running plots of the PDP, which were hatched even before the party lost the general election of 2019. Gentlemen of the press, recall that there had been concern expressed about the phase one of this evil plot, which was the instigation of the violence to truncate the conduct of the 2019 general election. But unfortunately, the election was successful and President Muhammadu Buhari emerged victoriously, which the PDP lost. As we are all aware, they lost the election. Two of the plot is that overwhelming security architecture of the country, and they blame the government for not doing enough to safeguard our nation, our country, Nigeria. They resolve on this change of government to truncate our democracy as the only viable way that the opposition can successfully come into power before 2023, due date for the change in government that we are all aware of. This they intend to achieve by mobilizing massive protests against the service chief, the Nigerian police force, the militaries, the DSS, so that the international community will see the President Muhammadu Buhari as an incompetent person to lead Nigeria. Then they will use the opportunity to hijack the government. So the service chief that they want to protest about, we believe that they are competent, they are hardworking individuals who they are accusing of, or they want to accuse them of corruption that they do not even have evidence against them. The exposure of this two-phase has now made the desperate people to launch phase 3, which is to isolate military service from the government by getting President Muhammadu Buhari to sack the military chief and create a vacuum that will be allowed the killer recruited by the opposition to unleash full terror on the population. This is why part of the plot to criminalize the military and the police so that they will become resolved. This part of the police is to call on the Nigerian police in particular this thing.
Where the money of this issue, where the money for the youth?